Today's topic, how to make a long-distance relationship work. Are you in a long-distance relationship? Are you sick and tired of not seeing your boyfriend for a very long time? And are you afraid that the distance will destroy everything? Then this episode is for you. And the first tip I have for you is a very strict and very German tip. And that's to stick to your weekly schedule. Whenever I had a coaching with a woman who was in a long-distance relationship, there was always this issue that they agreed upon a certain day or a certain time when they had their video call. And then it was always so easy because they didn't see each other in person that something came up. Some friend wanted to meet you. Some work project came up. Something came up for him. Something came up for you. And this is the beginning of the end. Because it's so easy when you are in a long-distance relationship. In fact, it's too easy to just postpone the meeting day again and again and again. And that's why it's so important that you find a schedule that works best for both of you. And then you can either enjoy daily video calls or twice a week or weekly or twice a month, however you want to do it. That's totally up to you, but stick to the schedule. And be grateful for Skype, Zoom, and FaceTime. You really have no excuse to not make it work. You have so many options. You can text him, you can call him on Zoom, on Skype, on FaceTime. You can do so many things. Often when it comes to the long distance relationship, laziness creeps in. And for laziness, it's way easier to creep in a long distance relationship than it is in a relationship where you see each other on a regular basis. Because when you see each other, there's more motivation to go out and to meet each other. But when it comes to long distance, there's always this thought in the back of your mind of, I can't touch him anyway, I can't kiss him anyway, and then you get into this negative mood, and then you get into this, negative vibration, and then you both are in this negative vibration because you both miss each other, and you are both not really grateful for the technology that allows you to meet each other. And when you're not in a state of gratitude, then it's easy to turn your weekly conversations or monthly or however you want to do it or daily into complaining, into whining. And then your relationship is in danger. Because when you don't feel good when you talk to your partner over phone, over Zoom, over Skype, whatever you might use, if you don't feel good, if you don't talk about positive things, if you don't motivate each other, if you don't lift each other up, then you are trapped in this negative vibration, in this negative mood. And then it's so easy for both of you to come to the conclusion, hey, I actually feel really bad when I'm talking to her. I feel really bad when I'm talking to him. Maybe this is not supposed to work out. So always make sure that you're grateful for what you have and then take this gratitude in the phone calls with him. Because then you're both in a good mood and then you will appreciate each other way more. And then you will also make more effort to make the relationship work. And take your boyfriend on dates. You don't have to always chat at home. You can also, for example, eat out in a restaurant together. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's possible. With imagination, with creativity, it's all possible. You can, for example, go to a restaurant and take him with your phone, and he can do the same. And then you can enjoy a romantic dinner together. These things are possible. You just need to be creative. Or you can go for a walk in the park, and he does the same. And it feels like you're walking together. These are the dates that will make your long-distance relationship work because they will bring in the excitement in your long-distance relationship that you would have if you were in a, let's call it a normal relationship where you see each other on a regular basis. So make an effort and go on dates. And be empathic about the time zone difference, especially if he's on the other end of the world. Don't be selfish and force him to get up early or stay up late. I've actually heard that from a lot of women, that they think that it's a sign of love when he stays up extra late and then texts with them or chats with them. But in the long term, it's really unhealthy. And he might even, or I would actually say he will for sure, resent you for it. It might be cute to do that once or twice a month, but if you do it all the time and if he has to stay awake for you, then his life suffers, his health suffers, his concentration suffers. And you don't want that. You want him to get his sleep. If you love him, you really want him to be healthy and to get his sleep. So make sure that you are empathic about the time zone difference and expect the same from him. And then make him obsessed with you by giving him the feeling that he is your hero, even though you are hundreds of miles away. especially in a long distance relationship. It's easy for him to come to the conclusion that it's just not worth it, that his life, his mission, his purpose suffers because of you. Why is that the case? Well, because a long distance relationship requires a lot of commitment. It requires him to say no to other women who are close to him. And the same is of course also true for you. You also have to say no to other people. And it also requires him to, at least to a certain extent, design his life around your relationship. So if you then don't communicate to him that he is your hero, and if you fail at giving him the feeling that he doesn't have to choose between you and his life, then the relationship is doomed to fail. And that's why it's so important that you make him obsessed with you and that you activate his hero instinct. And if you want to find out more about how you can do that, I can highly recommend that you click on the link in the description and read this review till the very end. Because in this review, I share 7 case studies with you of women who gave their boyfriends the feeling that they are the hero of their life and of their relationship. And this made them commit to them, this made them loyal, and this made them fall in love with them. And you can use the same techniques to make sure that your long distance relationship will work out. And be careful with frisky Skype calls. Yes, it can be very exciting, but it's also incredibly dangerous. I personally, because I have several businesses, I would never do it. It's just too much risk for me. And revenge P, I can't say the word right now, but you know what I mean, is a real thing. So you have to keep that in mind. No matter how much you trust him, always be careful. For example, I would never go full on without clothes in front of a camera when the other person can record it. That's just something that I personally wouldn't do. Of course, it's your choice if you do that with your boyfriend in a long distance relationship. But I see the risks outweigh the benefits, so be careful here. However, one thing you should do is to express your emotions openly and authentically. You don't have to force yourself to hold it together when you want to cry, because you miss him so much. Be honest about each other's emotions. Say I love you when you want to say I love you, it's totally okay. Because you don't have the physical aspect. The emotional aspect of your relationship is more important than in any other type of relationships. And that's why it's so important to always have this open and authentic communication about your emotions. And see your long distance relationship as an opportunity to grow emotionally. See it as a positive challenge instead of seeing it as an obstacle that you somehow have to overcome until you see him again. And this can motivate you to put in even more effort and more work in the relationship, and then your relationship will thrive. And one tip that I have for you that's very important, that's often overlooked in long distance relationships: quality time is more important than quantity time. You can use the same metaphor for parenting, for example. I mean, yes, you can say, I spend 5 hours a day with my son while you watch TV and your son is somehow playing for himself. Or you can say, I spend 30 minutes of quality time with my son, and play with your son and be actively involved in his life. Quality is more important than quantity. The same is true for your long distance relationship. If you spend quality time, if you get on video calls, if you have this honest and authentic communication that I just mentioned, instead of texting all the time like, how's your day? I'm fine. And you? Yes, I'm good. This can have a huge impact on your relationship. And observe his activities because they reveal his level of commitment. Yes, I have to mention this point, even though it's very uncomfortable, but I still have to mention it. If you are in a long distance relationship with a guy who's always partying, who's always clubbing, who's always drinking, who uploads pictures with beautiful women on social media all the time, and he's always so drunk that he can barely remember what happened, then he might use that as an excuse because something happened. So make sure that you observe his activities because they reveal his level of commitment. But don't worry, when he's really obsessed with you, then he doesn't even want to go out. He doesn't want to put himself in these tempting situations. Then he just wants you. And if you want to have the power to make him obsessed with you, the link is in the description. I can really recommend that you read this review from the beginning to the end, because it will shock you, it will surprise you, and it will open your eyes to a new world where you have the power to make any man obsessed with you. And enjoy each moment with your boyfriend instead of focusing on the next meeting. In Germany, we have a saying, and you can translate it to the journey is the goal. So instead of focusing vehemently on when will I see him again, when will we meet again, Focus on the journey. Enjoy every moment with him. Enjoy every conversation. And if you're still struggling with the idea that you can make your long distance relationship work, then you can also work with me as your coach, and I can help you to make it work. You can also find the link to Skype coaching with me in the description. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.